Shh. Hear that? Big waves are calling. Dive into refreshment with Kona Big Wave. Tropical flavor and the taste of aloha in every drop. So crack one open and let the great taste roll in. Kona Big Wave, liquid aloha. Copyright 2025 Kona Brewing Co., St. Louis, Missouri. Mahalo for enjoying responsibly.
On WhatsApp, no one can see or hear your personal messages. Whether it's a voice call, message, or sending a password. To WhatsApp, it's all just this. So whether you're sharing the streaming password in the family chat or trading those late-night voice messages that could basically become a podcast, your personal messages stay between you, your friends, and your family. No one else. Not even us. WhatsApp. Message privately with everyone.
And now, stop me if you've heard this before on the Toddcast podcast.
Talk to any musician and you'll hear nothing but good things about Todd Kerns. He's the bassist. He's one of the conspirators in Slash's band, but you'll know him from fronting Age of Electric, Static and Stereo, Go Time, Sin City Sinners, Toque, Minefield, and he says the best is yet to come, which is crazy. Todd and I go way back to the mid-90s when I was producing on-air shows for 99.3 The Fox here in Vancouver. I remember Todd coming through the station with Age of Electric, the Kern Brothers, the Dahl Brothers, at the time, the forefront of rock here in Van. And we've kept in touch over the years. Todd's been a guest 5 times over our 11-year run. He's done about 4 or 5 live shows with us in that time as well. He was a guest right before COVID, right after COVID. We talked a fair amount about that and the effect in his world and how crazy it must have been for him. Todd lives in Las Vegas, the city that never sleeps, that eerily closed down during the pandemic. In his last visit, we talked about the downtime that we all had. Gave him a chance to get a creative energy going, new music, new albums. Todd talked about the Kiss Cruise as part of Bruce Kulick's band. We touched on his YouTube channel, his clothing line, the Damn It Wear, Anti-Star Designs. And stop me if you've heard this before, Todd talked about getting a star on BC's Entertainment Walk of Fame.
Well, half the time, that kind of stuff, you feel really fraudulent about it half the time. You're kind of like, oh, man. It's like, you kind of feel like, well, you feel very appreciative of it, but there's sometimes you just kind of go, oh, man, I don't know if, that is a really surreal thing to me. I mean, honestly, to this day, a friend of mine, the band Dragon Force just played the Commodore. And my friend goes, yeah, we played the Commodore. I go, dude, my star's just down the street. And I go, and he goes, what? And I was like, it's just a weird thing to kind of just bring up, but it is.
Right. Yeah.
I'm by the Roxy, I don't know, actually. I think in a lot of ways, I think when it comes to Vancouver, I think things like Age of Electric and all that kind of stuff, I think they treated it all as a sort of, my whole career, I suppose, and everything that I've been doing that sort of somehow warrants me being next to Bryan Adams or Colin James or Sarah McLachlan or whoever else. It's it's greatly appreciated, but it's super surreal. But I think that my heart still always belongs in Vancouver. Every time I go back, that is as much as growing up in Saskatchewan, all those major years of my life were spent in Vancouver. To the point now where I'm sure you're not unlike me with my kids, and I go, this used to be that. And that used to be this. This was never here, Yeah,
totally.
I'm that guy now. It's like, so it feels amazing. But I know that, and I keep saying this to my wife, and I think it's one of those interesting things that I kind of feel like I have the audacity to keep thinking like that. I don't think the big thing has really happened yet. It's a weird thing to say at this point in my life, but I still feel like there's still more to do. I think that's important. I think it's important to feel that way, because after a while I just kind of imagine, just going through the motions of it all, but and not really having much to say. So in a lot of ways during the lockdown, it sort of had me writing a lot and working a lot with other people. And it kind of really opened up another part of my brain of like, you know what, the whole reason we do this is to make music. And to Slash's credit too, he's sort of like, he very easily could just be like phoning it in and playing guitar and being like, whatever. But he's very driven to make new music and to do new things and break new ground. Mm-hmm. He really has no reason to, but he does it all the time. I think that's the true sign of being an artist.
Stop Me If You've Heard This Before on the Toddcast podcast is powered by the Home Dwell Group. Buying a house? Selling your home? Contact Kyle at homedwell.ca today.
American history is full of infamous tales that continue to captivate audiences decades or even hundreds of years after they happened. On the Infamous America podcast, you'll hear the true stories of the Salem witch trials and the escape attempts from Alcatraz, of bank robbers like John Dillinger and Pretty Boy Floyd, of killers like Lizzie Borden and Charles Starkweather, of mysteries like the Black Dahlia and D.B. Cooper, and of events that inspired movies like Goodfellas, Killers of the Flower Moon, Zodiac, 8 Men Out, and many more. I'm Chris Wimmer. Join me as we crisscross the country from the Miami drug wars and Dixie Mafia in the South, to mobsters in Chicago and New York, to arsonists, kidnappers, and killers in California, to unsolved mysteries in the heartland and in remote corners of Alaska. Every episode features narrative writing and cinematic music, and there are hundreds of episodes available to binge. Find Infamous America wherever you get your podcasts.
Does music really have the power to heal? How can you instantly be more persuasive? What would the world be like if there were no bugs? These are the kind of topics we explore in every episode of my podcast called Something You Should Know. My name is Mike Carruthers, and what we do on Something You Should Know is we find leading experts and curate topics that will impact your life, satisfy your curiosity, or simply fascinate you, maybe all of the above. Out of all the millions of podcasts in the universe, Something You Should Know is usually ranked in the top 200 of all podcasts on Apple. A lot of people like Something You Should Know, and I'm willing to bet you will too. We deliver 3 episodes a week and have a catalog of over 1,000 shows for you to listen to. Give a listen to Something You Should Know, wherever you get your podcasts.
It's ticklish business any way you look at it. Come on, we'll stick together.
Love movies? Love classic movies? So do we. Ticklish Business is the podcast where classic film is discussed in modern times. Hosted by me, film journalist Kristen Lopez, and my co-host, author Emily Edwards, we dive into the golden age of cinema with fun, heart, and serious expertise. As published film historians and lifelong classic movie buffs, we bring insider insights, deep research, and lively debates with a variety of special guests, ranging from celebrities like Holly Madison to TCM luminaries Dave Karger and Eddie Muller, and even family members of old Hollywood legends. Subscribe now to Ticklish Business on your favorite podcast app, and let's talk about old Hollywood today.